Hello once again, YouTube. This is Lovell Hawes, prior enlisted Marine, just a general good, well-researched gentleman. I'm going to be releasing this video a little bit out of order, simply because of the fact that in about a week or so, nobody's going to remember it, or at least not care about it. So this one's going to be ahead of everything else. So it's going to be an Ask Why video. Why does anybody care about the Oscars and whether or not Will Smith slapped Chris Rock? I really, honestly don't know, don't care. We have the greatest conflict in 50 years happening in Eastern Europe right now. The Ukrainians are fighting for their independence, and many of them are fighting for their lives. There are 15,000 Russians, I just checked this morning, confirmed dead. I have no word on how many Ukrainians have been killed. There is also believed to be about 45,000 Russians wounded. The Russians have lost 30% of their strength, and most of them were lied to get there. They were told they were going on a training. The Northern Force, for example, was told they were going on a training exercise in Belarus. And then they were told to turn south into Ukraine, into an actual combat environment. You shouldn't be losing your buddies if it's an exercise, but people. Not only that, but there are now 10% of all Ukrainians, 3 million people, are now in Poland. Now, presumably, considering there's a lot of people, that basically every able-bodied male and a lot of able-bodied females have decided to take up arms and fight the Russians directly, and even some of the older Ukrainian citizens, like an old grandmother dropping seeds in a Russian's pocket and says, "I want flowers where you die." And this old grandfather comes up and talks about their supply chain issues. Presumably, because the Russians have lost 30% of their strength and are now digging in, they've hit a critical point. One wave everybody should be paying attention to. And in the meantime, everybody's talking about whether or not Will Smith said, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And I was like, really? These guys are two celebrities. Most of the time, they don't have any real clout outside of, "Hey, I'm just famous, listen to me." And I was like, come on, folks. That's to me, that is strange as to how some people have their priorities here. Chris Rock and Will Smith. I didn't even know they were on the same stage together until the next morning when I saw the newscast. And I'm like, why is this playing instead of more on Ukraine? Why are we not hearing about more Ukrainian counterattacks that I know are happening? Why did we not hear about the Su-35 that the Ukrainians brought down where they captured the pilot, a lieutenant colonel? Why are we not hearing more about the equipment that's supposed to be going to Ukraine, including the 3,000 artillery pieces, the 3,000 cannon that has been promised to the Ukrainians by the Czech Republic? Or why haven't we heard more about the MiG-29s that are in a German airbase that belong to the Polish that they want to give to the Ukrainians? Why are we not hearing more about that? Why are we not hearing more about the NATO forces that are reinforcing each other in Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland? Why are we not hearing more about whether or not the Russians are trying to bust through the Dardanelles into the Mediterranean Sea? Why are we not hearing more about the Russian ship that the Ukrainians sank with an anti-ship missile? It was a troop carrier, by the way, which inhibits Russians' amphibious operation capability. They only have one left in the entire Black Sea. One operational one. The other one's in dry dock, and the fourth one they have that has to come through the Dardanelles, which Turks aren't allowing that. So why are we focused on these things and not focused, or why are we focused on Chris Rock and Will Smith? Why are we not focused on these things? Why are we not focused on an American who just got released from a Russian prison? Why are we not more interested in what China is interested in doing with Taiwan? You want to have another Ukraine? Yeah, look towards Taiwan. It's about to happen again. Why are we not focused on the missile attack that the Iranians fired into Iraq? I've already identified the modern axis of evil as they stand right now. If things do devolve into World War III, where a lot of people are worried about that, then the modern axis of evil will be Iran, China, and Russia. And I'm going to use a Churchillism. Iran is the soft underbelly of Asia. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to penetrate that with any more luck than we had with Italy in the 40s. And there's a lot of terrain aspects that go on there. And the Russians would definitely reinforce that. But it still remains to my original question, why are we worried about Chris Rock and not worried about what's going on with Russia, China, and Iran? And why are we not doing more to put those three countries on the back heel? I would really like to know why our priorities are so far off the mark. If you have any remote idea, please let me know. I do have the comment section available at any given time. If you don't have a good answer to the question, please ask the people that are higher up, or please ask your neighbor. Please ask somebody else as well. Spread the question around. This has been Lovell Hawes, and I bid you a good day.